40 of the best sim racers. $100,000 on the line. Who will rise to the challenge? This is the most competitive and sought-after season in iRacing World Championship history. This is where legends are made. This is the Porsche Esports Super Cup.
This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
You know, Johnny, nothing quite compares to open wheel racing at Silverstone, and it just feels right. And now with iRacing's latest and greatest version at our disposal, the drivers of the Precision Racing League attempt to manage this historic race circuit in their Dallara Formula 3s. But who will show dominant form and start to settle the championship battle as we get ready to watch Round 8 of the Precision Racing League's Formula 3 series? And you'll see it all live here on the Global SimRacing Channel and the iRacing Esports Network. In the booth with me this evening, this guy over here next to me, you know, he hit me with a sled once and put a scar on my forehead. It's my brother.
Did not. Nope.
He did. This is my brother Johnny. And over there in the big chair, twisted and tweaking the dials for us this evening is, of course, Joe P. And that mysterious man behind the camera, you never really get a good look at him until you look at him here on screen. Well, that would be the great Dougie Beard. John, this is Silverstone. This is the new scan, the new 2019 version here on the iRacing service. All the members are happy, including this one. Tell us a little more about it.
Yeah, Sean, we are in England, located right next to the Northamptonshire villages, which, Sean, you and I grew up by Southampton, so did we ever go to Northamptonshire?
No Northampton. No Northampton.
Okay, well,
No.
as you said, Sean, here we are, the brand new scanned circuit here. It may be new, it may have the new features and the grounds and the trees and the signage, but it's still the same flat, very low elevation change, if any, circuit, and it's fast. This track here is 5.13 kilometers in size, a little over 3 miles, 18 turns. This race here is going to be 45 minutes this evening. These guys will have their hands full as they get adjusted to this new car and this new track. But to take a look at this track firsthand, let's jump aboard the Dallara F3 for our lap guide.
All right, we've got Kevin Santana and the GSRC Formula 3, so let's do a lap around Silverstone. Abbey will be easily flat out, and you're going to have a fair bit of speed by the time you chuck it in. The same thing with Farm, no lifting necessary, but you'll definitely want to hug the left side of the track to line up your braking into Village. This is really the first spot in the lap where you might see drivers attempt to outbrake someone, but if your opponent is determined, they might carry the fight into and through the loop. After that, there's no lifting needed through Aintree, and the Wellington Straight is one of the longest acceleration zones of the lap. This brings us to the next popular place for passes, Brooklands. It has a tricky late apex that swings back into Luffield. It's sort of reminiscent of the first couple corners in Montreal, but on a slightly larger scale. Try to square off the exit of this hairpin and avoid wheel spin because you'll need all the speed you can get through this next section. Woodcote is another easily flat-out turn which then dumps you onto the old pit straight. For some, this might tempt them into a pass into Copse, but it needs only the tiniest brush of the brakes and then you'll smash your foot back to the floor yet again. Expect it to be kind of tough to follow in the wake of the car ahead with such high-speed corners. Then you come up to the Maggots-Beckett sequence. Each turn gets tighter and tighter, eventually culminating in the final right-hander, which is the most critical of the bunch. Carrying your speed and getting back on the throttle as soon as possible will make or break the lap, with it taking you through Chapel and onto the Hangar Straight. At the end of this run is Stowe, which has a blind rise and a slightly off-camber nature to it. Don't be surprised if someone goes on the attack into here. If a battle continues out of the corner, it's usually settled by the braking into Vale. It's much wiser to take this chicane single file and then really focus on launching yourself off of club back onto the front stretch. Make sure not to drift over the curbs into the paved runoff, and hopefully you've now finished a lap around Silverstone.
Kevin Santana available to do the lap guide, but not available to be on track at the current moment. But listen, folks, the Precision Racing League Formula 3 Series is brought to you by Apex Button Box. And this season, all the drivers who competed at least 8 races out of this 10 rounds will be entered into a random drawing to receive a free button box. It is Apex Button Box's goal to be able to provide an affordable, reliable button box to those who do not have the time or materials to create their own. To find out how you can get your hands on one, go on over to Facebook. You can do it now. You can open another tab, another browser, and just type in Apex Button Box. You will find them there on Facebook. I promise. Check them out. Johnny, let's look at the Drivers' Championship because, well, things are heating up around here. Look at the top of this thing here. Overbay, Espinosa, Holland. It really belongs to any of them at this point with 3 rounds left going into tonight. Christian Gritzko in his own little fight back there with Takeshi Kita, who now breaks into the top 5. Grits with that big win last week. Keating with his continued consistency here this season have both got into the top 5 and now battle each other to stay into the top 5 here over these next 3 rounds. Now let's look at the team standings here real quick, because at the top, it's still not out of sight for Alpine Stars Geodesic. They are only 23 points behind. Look who's on that team there. Overbay, Padavon, Albon. Very, very capable of catching Grits, Holland, and Lyndon Swaby up there up top. This is the battle, though, Johnny. The one that's really, really got me interested is this battle back here for 3rd. And who's going to finish in 3rd before this season's over? It really belongs to any of the 3. Crash for Cash, Forward Fight, or SRT Esport East. All have a legitimate shot to get themselves there on that 3rd spot in the standings before this is over. How about the details of this event tonight, John? Why don't we go over that real quick?
Yeah, Sean, sorry about that. I couldn't find my keyboard here. As you talked about earlier, we are in round 8 of 10. So, well, we've got this race and 2 more to watch. Actually, looking at the points here of these drivers, it looks like 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, they're pretty much, unless they just absolutely bomb the next 3 races, they pretty much got that podium filled. But anything's possible for that 4th and 5th. So we are here at Silverstone, round 8 of 10. This race will be a 45-minute race. They are running open setups and running 50% fuel. So these guys will have to pit, and it's a strategy really to when they want to pit. You can pit early, or you can pit later. But either way, they will have to come in and pit tonight, Sean. Incident cap set at 20. That's going to be a big issue tonight, I think, with this new track. We see a lot of guys in practice kind of cross that threshold of getting off the track surface there, and also this track, this newly scanned track, has these high curbs that run continuously for like 50 feet and 75 feet. And that undercarriage, if it gets caught on that, well, it's going to lift the front wheels off these cars, Sean.
Yeah, and what we've also come to learn about the Dallara F3 is that the under tray damage on this car can be significant, can affect pace, and will affect pace. We saw it just last week. But one of the other things that we talked about, everybody needing to make a pit stop. How about the pit road entry here, and what problems that could present for the drivers, John?
I think these guys have enough experience. I mean, they do this week in, week out. I don't expect to see much here. It's really coming out of the pits that may be a problem. But given the fact that most of these guys kind of split the race in half and maybe go a little bit over that halfway point, the cars are stretched out. There's no cautions here other than local cautions. So I don't really expect to see an issue there unless a driver just accidentally comes out to the track too early and collects another driver.
John, this race brought to everyone here on the iRacing Esports Network and the Global SimRacing Channel. Certainly happy to be part of this great network of broadcasters. We've all come together here to, stream these races to you here live worldwide, here nightly. And tonight it's the Precision Racing League here on the iRacing Esports Network. Go give them a sub if you're on the YouTube channel now, and that subscribe button is red. You haven't subscribed yet, so give them a sub, and give GSRC one while you're at it too. So, John, the practice over qualifying well underway. Only 3 minutes left right now, and it's a familiar face at the top. David Holland certainly looking well here in the early stages of qualifying.
Yeah, Holland was strong during practice, and we see this, again every week. Francisco Montini, he's one of those drivers that actually does a really great job qualifying. Struggling though with those finishing positions to kind of, keep that high podium finish. So maybe tonight will be a change for him. And then Overbay, Sean, right behind him.
Sounds like a bit of a Greg Sachs, maybe.
Yeah.
I hope he's not watching. I didn't mean that, Greg. I'm sorry. Very nice man. Overbay lurking back there in P3 at the moment. And, Overbay has a way of figuring out any track. Not a surprise to see him sitting right now third in qualifying, John. He seems to be dialed in here. We'll see how he goes on this one.
We see occasionally, a big disparage time difference between the field. Tonight, we're not really seeing that much. Now, granted, we get back into the 15, 16 position. We're about 2.5 seconds off, but the top 12 runners are within a second of each other, which tells me these guys were practicing for this track. So a lot of those drivers you talked about, the point standings, a lot of those team standings, I think we may see some aggressive moves up through the points this evening when this thing's all done.
Overbay got around, was not able to best that time. Watching Ty Gore there. Oh, I'm sorry. Overbay still finishing this lap. It was... Yeah, that's right. The new start-finish line here. It got me caught sleeping there. Here he comes across. That's a little bit better, but not good enough, John. Or was it? No, it wasn't.
No. We got a few drivers still out there. Daniel Barnett, David Hebert, Paul Wilbridge. The time is running out, and actually the time, we got 44 seconds, so some of these guys still have a shot if they're out there on the track to finish up. I only see 2 drivers right now.
Well, there's Cristelli He's coming around to finish his. Let's see how much better he goes here. Ooh, that looks like that was a bit slower that lap for David. He's going to start right in the middle of the field. He's got P11. 22 cars right now registered for the session. There's Jay Steffi. Steffi is going to be off on that one.
Yeah, Padavani seems like he's got a good run going here. Let's see what he can do.
All right, checker flags out on qualifying here, John. Let's see what Glitter Pants has got here in his geodesic F3.
Well, hopefully he's got some other kind of pants on tonight, Sean. Those glitter pants haven't been serving him well.
I said last week they weren't very glittery last week. Not very glittery at all. It was not one of Jefferson's better races, but let's see.
There
He
you
gets
go.
a little bit
Put
better.
him on the podium.
He knocks Overbay out of that third spot. Now, off the start finish line here, we're going to be making a right turn, John, and
Hopefully.
I don't know.
Hopefully, Sean. Hopefully.
Right? That's the plan, right? So I think Padavani's going to like that spot. Here comes Barnett around. Not faster for him. Better for David Hebert.
You know, Sean, who we don't see tonight is Samurai. Samurai is not in the field.
Now, Owen McLaughlin actually just got up into the top 10 there at P9 qualifying for him. Cristelli, now Nick Delp. Where's Nick? Nick's currently sitting P5. And that wasn't too far off, but he'll hold on to that P5. Here comes Francisco Montini, currently sitting in P2. And Montini goes better there. That's his best qualifying effort. That's still only good enough for second.
2/100ths of a second from David Holland's fastest lap.
And Jay Steffi going to stay down there in P17. And Johnny, I think that's it. I think we can go ahead and take it to the grid here as long as our director's comfortable with it. I am. And we will go here with your pole sitter tonight, David Holland. It's Texan with another great qualifying effort. And tonight he does it here in Silverstone. Francisco Montini going to start P2. Row 2 going to be Jefferson, Padavani, and Michael Overbay. Row 3 going to be Nick Delp and Marco Oliveira. Row 4, Eric Luke starting 7th tonight. Next to last week's winner, Gritz, starting 8th. Row 5 going to be Owen McLaughlin and Daniel Zegers, John.
And row 6, Sean, we have Aaron Webb. On the outside of Aaron Webb in the 009, David Cristelli. We have Christopher Richards and Matthew Gunderson on the outside of him. Starting in 15th, Charles Sumner. In 16th, Mark File. Jay Steffi in 17th. Tyler Gore in 18th. Daniel Barnett in 19th. And David Hebert in 20th.
It's Hebert. It's Hebert.
Oh, Hebert. Sorry, David. It's Hebert.
Hebert. I think he's... Okay, so he's like mid-south. So he could be like, I don't know, Cajun, French, somewhere, maybe. I don't know. It could be Hebert. He's never corrected us, so.
And real quick, we'll just finish the last two here starting 21st, Paul Wilbridge, and the 22nd position, Remy Provencher.
Oh, you said it right. Oh, wow. I was going to ask you if you wanted me to take that from you, as I'm, of course, the more educated brother of the two. So, or should I say more worldly? More educated wouldn't be fair, would it, John? Okay. Lay out on me. That's fine. All right, here we go. Cars gridding up here. Only 30 seconds left on the clock. Everybody better get ready. Get to the grid. Remy Provencher is still not on the grid. We're still waiting for that car to show up. The lights are up, though, and John, they are away. Here we go. The Precision Racing League Formula 3 Series, mean, green, and underway here at Silverstone. David Holland gets a nice jump out front. Montini close behind. Stacking up behind him quickly. Padavani overpay, Delp all get there at the same time. It's craziness here. Off the start, everybody trying to get it sorted and, well, keep the off tracks and the incidents down, John. We don't have a whole lot of them to work with. We've got a long race here.
Everybody doing a good job getting single file here. You know, getting ready, going down the wood coat into the copes.
Yeah, you know what? Impressive start here is everybody kind of gone line astern. Not a bad look. The usual suspects at the front leading the way. Aaron Webb getting a position back there on Owen McLaughlin. That was a move up to 11th. Big stack up back there, John.
Yeah, these guys are just trying to find a rhythm right now, and you know, some of the guys in front of them are, well, they're a little slow to it, causing a bottleneck back here. But still, all in all, Sean, a great start for these guys.
Boy, and you said it right there, rhythm, right? I mean, if there was ever a rhythm track, this would certainly be it.
Oh, we got a look here going on to the inside of Stowe Corner 15. Michael Overbay.
Oh, and McLaughlin's around. Watch out, everybody behind him. Owen McLaughlin, what a save. That could have gone all kinds of bad.
Sean, here's an interesting little tidbit. Marco Oliveira jumped into the pits on the first lap. I didn't see any altercation, but they may be on the cusp of running this race with a half a tank of fuel. He may be playing a strategy call here.
Maybe we get someone coming in right off the start of the race. Let's see this stop. I'm not seeing anything. He took tires. That's odd. Something odd going on there. I don't think that's a scheduled stop, John. He's still sitting, in fact.
Yeah, but he was in 6th position when he went in. That's... Well, there he goes.
Now.
He's away now. He didn't burn up that much fuel, so yeah, he may have had damage there.
Yeah, he may. Yeah, you know what, John? Our director brings up a good point. Maybe he started with the wrong set, qualifying set. Maybe not enough fuel in the car to begin with. So that could have caught him out.
Costly.
Yeah, it certainly will.
That's a costly mistake there.
Costly, not too much at the front. Holland, Montini are still really close. Padavani not that far behind. The top three not really pulling away from Nick Delp. Nick Delp back there lurking in 4th. He's got company behind him, though. A whole mess of drivers all the way back to P10.
Yeah, just to give an update to the viewers, Remy in the 87 Provencher, he actually didn't start this race, so he's not in the event this evening.
The obligatory DNS. You get no points, you get no prize money. But, oh, Tyler Gores had a problem, John. Let's take a look and see what happened to Tyler here. John, I think he got one of those curves you were talking about. Watch this. Watch on the left side here. On his left.
Well, here he comes down to Vale.
Yeah, I think he got a little too much of it. I think the tires are right up against it. Here we go. We'll see it much better here from the onboard.
I think he just got on the gas too early there, Sean. Which really the car needs to rotate through that corner, so you shouldn't really be on the gas. Just a unfortunate incident for Tyler, but he's back on and back up to speed.
Yeah, he's got David Ayer back there chasing him down. That's it brought in a battle for them.
Sean, don't look now, but I you know what? Let's call him Glitter Pants tonight because he's showing some bling as he's getting ready going into 15 here.
Montini right there with him. Nick Delp bringing that gap down just a little bit.
Yeah, and Delp's got guys behind him. He's got Overbay and the Grits coming too.
Yeah, pretty quickly. Luke's back there too. This is going to get to be a really, really good battle here. They're all slinging it pretty well here at the moment. Board Grits.
Yeah, Grits has got that. He's got that nose in the gearbox.
And you see that Glitter Pants with the fastest lap in this race right now. Grits just fighting the line. Doing I believe that's a gear check, John. Checking the proper gear ratio on that F3 in front of him.
Yeah, Overbay is driving defensively, which is kind of screwing these guys up to getting up there to Delp. So Delp's rearview mirror is getting further from these guys. So let's see what Grits here has going into these series of corners here.
Oh, watch out! They made contact.
Yeah,
Overbay, Grits go.
We saw that coming. Too early to be driving defensively. You know, Overbay was just, Gritsko was just faster. Unfortunate for those two.
Yeah, and both cars with damage now. Both stay on track.
Here's the replay of it here, Sean. You got Overbay and Gritsko coming in. He's going to outbrake him here, which that's what you want to do. But Overbay kind of diamond the quarter off and just chopped him off there on the inside.
Go on board with Grits here, John. This will give a better look of what you were talking about right there. Just, again, trying to diamond it off a bit and diamond it too much and just chopping them off there.
Yeah, if you're going to leave that door open, you're going to have to leave it open. If not, you're going to take, well, in this case, 2 cars out. So just unfortunate for both those guys.
Yeah, and Gritsko seems to be the one that's really lost the pace now. He's
in the pits now.
He's in. Yep, he's screaming in there now.
So,
Gunderson have a problem? Wonder if did he get a slowdown or did he lose
seems to be going.
Oh, okay, he spun it.
Overbay is off the track, Sean. Man, he lost 7 positions. Off the track again.
You know what? We'll stay on the replay here, and boy, that just snapped on him, John. That Delara got snap happy, baby.
Yeah, and he got heavy undercarriage damage on that one. Even the left front wing is towed up on that thing.
Yep, I can see it. It's buckled up. Yep. Yeah, and it puts him in a precarious spot with the file right in front of him. Steffi just behind him. Steffi, who we've seen be fast here, he's already picked up 5 spots tonight.
Very atypical for Overbay to have a mistake like that. But then again, we're here at this new scan track, new car. Maybe some of these guys just didn't have enough practice time.
Okay, let's go back and see what's up with the leader, David Holland. Open it up now to 2.5 seconds, John. Maybe we were away too long, but I mean, he has left Jefferson and Francisco back there. In fact, the top 3 have spread themselves out pretty nicely. It's Delp that's back there still making progress a little bit at a time. They've really got to be concerned with Delp's pace because, honestly, I don't think it's going to be long before he's fighting Montini for that P3 spot.
Well, deep in the heart of Texas, Holland is just going away with this thing. As Big Tex would say, welcome and then goodbye. He's got quite the lead over Padavani. But Delp is doing a great job, Sean, this evening. He's giving these guys something to think about. He's actually catching Montini slowly, but he's actually, turning up the wick here.
Oh, and Lucas had a problem on track now. He just lost a spot to Chris Richards.
Take a look at it on the
Here it is
replay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sean, that corner is, man, that's a booger. That corner, from the Brooklands to the field, that's hard. You actually have to keep it in third gear if you're going to get on the gas hard, because if not, it will snap around just like it did. And unfortunate for that Apex button box, Delar.
Seen several cars snapping around here this evening, and we haven't talked about the weather a whole lot, but it's not really that bad, John. It's a clear day. It's only 87 degrees outside. Really not what you would consider adverse conditions here on track here in England.
Yeah, actually, it's 70 degrees here. The track temperature is 87. You're right. I mean, these are ideal track conditions for practice, qualifying, and even race. So, just some of these guys are just not on their game tonight. At least the normal front runners that we see. Montini, we talked about early. He's running good.
All right, got Overbay getting one of those spots back, taking it away from Mark File. We've got a replay of it. Let's take a look at it now, John. Overbay with a bit of a power move, showing that that Delara actually still has a lot of speed left in it.
Kind of tucked his nose out real early there, Sean. Yeah, it's almost like File just moved over and let him go.
Yeah. Well, Overbay's got some work to do, but not much. Eric Luke just up the track for him. Him and Chris Richards were in a bit of a battle. Still are, but Overbay's going to insert himself into that here in just a moment.
How about Daniel Zeggers and David Cristelli running good tonight in 5th and 6th position?
Yeah, they've quietly worked their way from just outside the top 10 when they started this race, and worked their way up now to just outside on the cusp of podium positions. A really, really solid run for the Midwest driver in the New England.
We saw that replay earlier, Sean, with Grisco and Overbay. Unfortunately, Grits, he took, and as I say that, he loops it there, coming close to the start-finish line.
Boy, just struggling with the track, John.
Yeah, I was going to say, what I was started to mention was that his lap times have fallen off drastically, so Grits is just not having a good evening.
What a shame to go from that big win last week to show up this week and find yourself right now all the way at the back and just off pace. It's going to be a long night for Grits.
Here we got a battle with Richards and Overbay. Luke. Richards thought about taking that pass on the outbraking of Luke there, but thought better of it. Let's see what happens here going around this sharp right-hander.
Yeah, and I really thought Overbay was going to just snug right up to them quickly, and he hasn't done that yet. I think it's because Luke and Richards have honestly enjoyed a little bit of drafting together, opened up a little bit of distance to Overbay, but he's still back there. It's under a second. He's lurking.
Yeah, there's the corner. You got to be careful to get it on that gas too early. You'll lose it. Let's see what Richards can do here. If he can outbrake Luke and maybe have a better result than Grisco and Overbay did.
Ooh, we thought about it. He definitely thought about it, John.
We got some good battles going on throughout the field here. We got a battle for 14th and 15th with Sumner and Gunderson.
Boy, there's a name we haven't brought up yet, Charles Sumner. And Sumner's picked up a spot sitting there in P14. The real mover in this race is right in front of him. We haven't even talked about it, and that's Paul Wildridge. Wildridge, John, is up 8 spots.
Yeah, starting 21st. Well, actually, he had the provisional last spot on the starting grid. So Great job for him this evening. Maybe we should stop talking about him. He seems to be blinking in and out on my screen.
Oh, Cristelli with a problem. Oh, no! He turned right back.
Eric
Oh.
Luke. Man, Eric
Poor
Luke
Eric
was the
never
poor
had a chance.
recipient of that. Yeah.
Eric never had a chance, man. Never had a chance.
Let's take a look here shown on the replay.
No big surprise. I mean, we've been seeing cars.
He hit that
Spit.
red curb and got on the gas and just looped it. And he does almost two 360s when instead he should have just locked down the brakes. Unfortunate for Luke, who had a great night. And Eric Luke has parked it for the evening. That's a shame.
Yeah, certainly not the best decision there, but well, we got to move on from it. We got to keep rolling here. Still have some really great battles on track. Seems like that it's that battle back there for P12. Honestly, John, it's maybe the best of the three good ones that we've got going right now with Wilridge, Summer, and Gunderson.
Yeah, don't forget Steffi too. Steffi's having a great night in that 247 F3. Clean, lean, and green. He's got a clean car right now.
Oh, Overbay, Richards. We weren't on that there at the moment, John, but they are actually fighting. I thought Overbay had cleared him. Richards fighting back. Oh, the fight is gone.
I don't know what curb Overbay hit, but I don't see damage to that wing anymore.
You know what? I'm not seeing the damage to that wing anymore either. He just stepped out of line there and makes the pass clean. Richards thinks about fighting him back, cross him over right there for a moment, but then Overbay just starts to outpace him again.
Let's go back up front here to Nicholas Delp. We talked about him early on in the first few laps, having a good run. I mean, he's only up one position, but he is at the heels now of Montini. So he's just slowly making strides. He's running about the same lap times as Montini, but he's actually got a faster lap than Montini overall. So let's see what he can do here in the slipstream.
Seems like a very patient driver at the moment, John. Not pushing too hard, just minding the gap here and taking whatever little bit of gains he can take every lap here, but not doing it recklessly. Still have 26 minutes to go in this event.
So not an AJ Foyt is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's not driving the wheels off the thing right now. Oh no, Cristelli's had a problem. Big problem.
Boy, the Apex button box drivers tonight, boy, they're having a tough go of it.
Yeah. It's gonna make contact.
Here's a look at Sumner's incident.
Okay. That's cliche, but hashtag send it, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Both those drivers are in the pits right now. Charles Sumner, Paul Wilridge, David Cristelli, all entering pit lane.
Now, Wilridge was actually the one that made the contact with that we saw there with the on the first replay. So he's coming in from that damage. What a mess. All of a sudden, just all kinds of chaos broke up there in the middle of the field, John. And it broke up all those great battles we were talking about. As a result of that, it's broken all those up. Delp still hard on it, trying to catch Montini. But your leader, David Holland, continues to open things up. Well, maybe not too much. I mean, it's just under 3 seconds, but Padavani doesn't seem to be pushing much harder.
Yeah, Montini, I don't know if he's going backwards, but I think Delp is just getting better. I don't know if his car is actually getting better, Sean, or his driving and understanding of this track.
Well, it's kind of what we talked about in the beginning, that rhythm, right? Developing that rhythm here. And obviously, once you've started to kind of master it a little bit, that rhythm easier to come by. And, well, I'll throw out another cliche. He's in the zone.
Well, that zone's working for him because he was about 6/10.
Oh, no! Oh, we did it. We did it.
We jinxed him. Yeah.
We did. We talked about him way too long. I hate that for Nick. I feel horrible, John. That is our fault. Squarely on our shoulders.
Yeah, it's all on Sean's Phelps. Here's a replay of it. You know, he just comes out of that corner and he gets on that gas. He realizes it, backs off, but it snaps to the right on him, unfortunately, and it just off the track, and then he's got a slowdown penalty once he does that.
And kind of a close call for Zegers, too. But that, as a result of that, that pulls Zegers now up into P4. Here we go, on board with Daniel. You know, right there, Daniel's like, all right, well, he snapped once to the right. Is he going to snap back to the left? Fortunately, it didn't.
Yeah, Delp did a great job. He locked on the brakes after it snapped to the right. He came to a complete stop, and so kudos for him for being cognizant of those other drivers around him. Sean, we're halfway through this race right about now. A little over 22 minutes to go. Let's give a rundown of the top 10 real quick.
Let's do that. It's the Texan David Holland still in command of the race. Since the drop of the green flag, got a great jump. He's had a great line and a lot of patience so far. Hasn't really hit any traffic, so to speak. And leads this race. Jefferson Padavani. Well, old glitter pants. Things are glittering pretty good right now. Jefferson is in second, being chased now by Francisco Montini, who gave up that second spot to Jefferson early on and hasn't been able to come back to that yet. Your top three really spread out here on track, John. You go back to fourth. It's Daniel Zegers, who is now catching Francisco Montini. His last lap, in fact, better than Montini, almost by a second. So, no, I'm sorry, by half a second. So Zegers on the way. Nick Delp now relegated to fifth after that mistake, John.
Yeah, and sixth right behind Nicholas Delp. Aaron Webb, Western driver there, having a good night, up 5 spots from 11th position, having just a quiet run. He's got Michael Overbay behind him. You know, Michael Overbay early on, an incident with him and Gritzko, and so it's just unfortunate, but Overbay seems to be recovering. He was back all the way to 14th, and now he's back up in 7th position. So good recap for a recatch for him. Christopher Richards behind him, the Midwest driver in the 49 car, up 5 spots from where he started. Another driver having a great night. And about 6 seconds behind him, Sean, is Mark File. He's up 7 positions, the Pennsylvania driver. Staying clean, got a clear track. And then rounding out the 10th spot is Jay Steffi in the 247, up 7 positions.
Yeah, that really is our closest battle right now. Charles Sumner in the chat, John, wanted to know if his death was at least glorious on the broadcast. So I can confirm that yes, it was. So sorry about that, Charles.
Yeah, unfortunate for Charles. Had a good night going, and just a tough incident there.
Now, the attrition hasn't been too bad. We've certainly got some cars that have had to come in early due to some problems, but right now, the top 10 running strong and not too far behind them. Still got a few cars battling here. Montini, though, still looking in the mirror here at Ziggers.
You said doo-doo.
I did not.
Yes, you
Did I double do? I did?
did.
Don't tell Mom. Please.
Really, no battles going on, Sean, outside of Steffi and Gunderson. Really, the only two drivers that are pretty close together. Oh, we have a pass.
Hang on, McLaughlin and Gunderson.
Yeah.
Just when we say there's nothing going on, I think, did Gunderson make a mistake here?
I think he did, because he's slow coming out of 18, the club.
Oh, yeah, he spun it. He spun it indeed, John. Too much throttle, too. I think he just squeezed a little too much on that throttle coming off the exit. Spun it. I think he's going to get away without any damage. I don't see any rear
Look at
wing.
that GSRC logo there. That's a good-looking logo.
That is. That's a fine-looking logo, isn't it? Uh-oh. We got him coming down. Montini, Delp, Aaron Webb, Chris Richards, all in the pits, John.
Yeah, but not Holland. Holland's doing that late Holland pit stop that he's famous for. Let's see how these pit stops are for these front runners here. Montini, Delp, Webb, Richards, Gunderson, all in the pits.
Delp is quick. Delp's real quick, John. Whoa. That's a quick stop for Delp. 8 seconds in the box.
Actually, Montini was 5.2 seconds. That's a stop. He was okay. We've got Richards slow on the track.
Yeah, and slow in the pits, John. I think he might have got hit with a penalty. Possibly. I don't know. 19.7. It's possible. It might have been a 15-second penalty. Gunderson's still in the pits. He's had a. Did he have a problem? No, it wasn't a bad stop.
Both him and Montini have a 30, right at a 42nd from cone to cone. So great stops for those two.
Great stop for Tyler Gore, too. And now Holland's in, John.
Let's go here with Holland as he brings it down pit lane here.
It's a rather familiar pit area, John. It looks a little like Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Maybe just a little bit.
Other than they're going the wrong way.
So track, but that's a whole nother story. Zingers over Bay in the pits now. So's Mark File. He's bringing his in.
Holland with a 4/10 faster pit stop than Montini. Great stop by David Holland. Let's see what Padavani's going to do here. The cars have kind of been laid out. Will he come in next time? You know, one thinks you kind of need to at this point.
Well, I mean, he wasn't catching Holland on track. I mean, you think come on in?
Okay, so yeah, forgive me. I'm going back to my circle track days. If a caution flew, then he's kind of stuck at the end. But no cautions fly here, other than local cautions.
I don't know, man. Those bogey times, the pit stops. I don't think Padavani's really got any chance by staying out here. Really needs to bring his F3 down, get his service, and get back to chipping away at it like he was. And there he goes. He's in the pits. So it's run its course. Now Holland will come around, and he'll take that spot back, John. Unless Padavani pulls some kind of a rabbit out of the hat there on the pit lane. I don't think it's going to happen. Holland coming around now.
Yeah, I don't know if David Hebert's crew has told him that he needs to pit. He's the only driver that's currently still out on the track that has not pitted, and he just passed pit road. So hopefully he's got enough fuel in that car. David
We're gonna try and milk one more out of it. Padavani went 16 laps on his, so I don't know. I guess we'll see if Abear can get one more out of it here. I sure hope he does. You don't want to. Oh no, John. Well, no, maybe he was just letting Daniel Barnett get by there.
Yeah, I thought maybe he ran out of gas in turn 7 there.
I so totally thought he was out of fuel. I was like, wait a minute, he's slowing down.
David Abear.
Yeah, I don't know why you're struggling with it. Hey, but listen, quick update real quick. For as much as we were questioning Padavani, he did something right apparently, John, because he's closed the gap on Holland just a little bit. It's down to 1.8 seconds now. There's your pit comparison there on screen.
I think, Sean, I don't know, but it looks like Holland had a mistake the last lap. He was 32 seconds slower than Padavani. I don't know if he had a self-spin or what.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But he pitted 3 laps ago, so it looks like something happened on the last lap.
Yeah, John, maybe something did happen because, boy, it sure seemed like Holland was going to wind up with a much bigger advantage on Padavani after that. And, boy, now it's 2 seconds. Now he's slowly starting to pull away from Padavani again. So, John, yeah, I think you're onto something there. He may have, I don't know, missed a shift getting out, didn't get off the limiter.
Yeah, let's look on the screen here, Sean. On lap 17 or 16, he lost 27 seconds. So, and he pitted, I think, on lap 12 or lap 13. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh well.
He's still in the lead.
He is still in the lead. Yeah.
Glitter Pants has got the flashlight on the bling and turning the wick up there. Now, last time by, I think our director was right. I think it was a pit stop because that time Padavani is showing a 2:19.
Way to go, John.
I was just bringing excitement.
Yeah.
And by the way, Dale Earnhardt's dog is totally fine after the plane crash. If anyone's wondering. Our director's in the background. Spoilers.
I thought we were gonna stay away from the whole junior thing. I gotta admit,
Jace?
the battle for P9 is really not over back here, John. We're approaching almost 10 minutes to go in this race. Richard, Steffi, and McLaughlin. I think they're gonna maybe mix up wheels here in just a few minutes. In fact, McLaughlin is really pressing Steffi here now, trying to put some pressure on him.
Yeah, he was 0.8 of a second faster. Excuse me, that last lap. So, lean, green, and clean is he's going to have to turn it up here, or McLaughlin's going to get him.
Up front, Holland still outpacing Jefferson Padavani. Not by much, John, only by just a few tenths of a second, but outpacing him nonetheless. Minding the gap, probably, Holland is at this point. Probably only got about 7 laps left in this race as we approach the 10-minute mark to go.
Daniel Zegers, he's turning some great lap times right now.
He really is.
He's been turning great laps all night, and he looks like to be catching up to Poncho here. And I guess we're missing his brother Lefty.
Yeah,
so
we are. Yeah, Zegers. I'm sorry. Back to Steffi and McLaughlin here, John. As, McLaughlin still pressing here. The SRT strong F3 of Jay Steffi.
I think that corner right there, instead of named Bluefield, it needs to be called Throttle Egg. You know, gentle or.
Oh, see, that
I'm
was
sorry.
the loop, John. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had it wrong again. You know what?
I'm just going to stay quiet.
All right, yeah, stay quiet.
Mom,
Listen, we should
call
go up
me.
to Let's go to Montini and Ziggers because Daniel's caught him, John. This is no joke now. That Francisco's got trouble in the mirror for the first time tonight. Really, honestly, he was before the pit stops. Montini had no company at all.
Well, catching him and passing him are going to be two different
Right?
things. We see Montini go. He's driving defensively, trying to get that slipstream away from Zegers. Really, what you want to do is just get back on that gearbox and let that driver make a mistake. That driver obviously being Montini. Let's see if he can outbrake him. Ooh, Montini, boy, driving defensively there.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing, John. Zegers, though, listen, it's been an uphill climb for him all night. He smells the blood in the water here. 8 minutes left. Probably 5 to go at the line. He's got several more opportunities here. No reason to get impatient. He's picked them all clean to this point. He's got one more in front of him to get a podium.
Almost a second faster than Montini. You know, when you start driving defensively, you lose, you know, you talked about it earlier. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. You lose your rhythm. So really, it's detrimental to Montini to drive like that, as we see right here, going into 15 in Stowe Corner. Zegers, a little bit of a mistake there.
Yeah.
Around that corner. He took that apex a little bit too early and had a double steer. Boy, a 10th and 11th still battle, Sean, with between Jay Steffi and Owen McLaughlin. They're going down the hangar straight here, going into 15 Stowe Corner. McLaughlin is there. Let's see if he can outbrake him. Going into Vale.
It's funny that both of the battles that we're following right now, both really the same kind of battle going on. It's just a different story.
Zegers has caught up to Montini, Sean.
Sure
He
has.
is
You might
right
get him
there.
here. Going to the inside. Oh, he backs out of it.
They've got a lap car that they're coming up on. It's going to be
pick.
interesting. The pick.
Daniel Barnett has a lot of decisions to make here soon. No, now. Not soon, now. Make a decision here, Daniels. He stays in the throttle. He's not scared.
There it is on the inside, Sean. Will it stick and hold? Montini gives him room. He actually has the preferred line going in the braking zone. Let's see. No. Closes the door.
Wow. I thought Zegers had that tied up. Not quite.
Yeah, Zegers tried to do that crossover, you know, coming out of 17, and that corner is just so sharp. You can't do it because you can't get the power down. But, you know, Zeger's trying it now. He still has just a little bit over 5 minutes to go to make it happen.
Then you get 8th and 9th, Richards and File. And then just behind them, Steffi and McLaughlin. McLaughlin's closed that up, John. He's got it down to just about 0.4 of a second. McLaughlin's going to try and see if he can get one of these spots back that he's lost tonight. Try and get up into the top 10. Steffi stands in his way.
I tell you what, we need a picture-in-picture or split screen here. We've got some great battles going on. Ooh, and McLaughlin goes extremely wide.
Yes, he does. Steffi's got no problem with that either. He's like, you just keep pressing back there. That's fine.
Oh, and he gets on the gas too soon and breaks it. McLaughlin is right there on his tail.
John, we haven't seen a ton of passing tonight. Now, obviously, here in the closing laps of the race, yeah, okay, but overall, not a lot of it here at Silverstone.
Yeah, unfortunately, what we have seen in passing has resulted in disaster for one or more drivers.
Right.
It just, you know, earlier. The outbraking doesn't seem to be working because it really screws. Ooh, Sagers has a great exit. Let's see if he can hold that inside. He does. Montini takes it wide. It's going to be a drag race. Zagger's got him.
Oh, finally, John. With 3 laps to go here in this race, just over 3 minutes. I think about 3 laps to go. Let's look at the replay here real quick. How did Daniel Zegers pull this off? Well, this is
out of 17. What an exit he got out of 17 here. Just eased into the gas, kept it low. And you see Montini there on the curb. He probably got loose. Couldn't get in the gas like Zegers did.
That's not over.
It's not over, but Zegers is driving his line. And Montini is driving radically. And so yeah. I think the winner of that's going to be Zegers. But hey, a great run for Montini. We talked about him early on not being able to execute during a race. He's doing it tonight.
And McLaughlin.
Oh, McLaughlin got by Jay Steffi.
Yeah, I was just about to go to that, man, and we had just pulled off of it. Here's the replay. McLaughlin just gets him in the slipstream, John.
Well, he's already passed him here. It happened before, let's see, going into 15.
Yeah, but he pulled the move into slipstream and he just hung on to it and never, here it comes, John.
Here we go, yeah, our director's on it. Yeah, coming down that long straight, Porsche straight, well, actually Hanger straight now. Got that slipstream going into 15. He's going to go to the inside, take that right-hander, and that's where you want to be on the inside. Great move by him.
John, David Holland has been just short of magnificent this evening with now what looks to be the white flag when he comes around to the line. He'll have one more lap to get this sorted out here at Silverstone and take home another victory. I think he's playing around with us here a little bit. Padovani's got it down to a 1.3 seconds, but I don't think that's an indication of pace. I think that's just a indication of Holland just kind of having a little bit of fun here. Zegers, Montini still not over yet. Montini still there, John. Any mistake here over this last lap for Zegers, Montini's got himself a podium position again.
Zegers, I think you could stick a fork in it. It's done. He has just been the trophy child of consistency tonight. What a great run by Daniels. Up 7 spots from 10th position. Both him and Mark Feil doing a great job this evening. Yeah, bringing them home. And here we have David Holland coming around.
White flag for David Holland, the Texan. Really enjoying seeing that here now as he's got one more lap here to make at Silverstone. Padavani going to get his white flag. He's got that to his second now, John. I guess we can't celebrate too early.
Well, we've got Gunderson on the back of Steffi right now.
Yeah, what's
Man,
happened to
this is a
Steffi all of a sudden?
Yeah, he's kind of going backwards. Gunderson is just all over the back of him.
Steffi used that car up a little bit, maybe rattled the under tray. But all of a sudden, he goes from leading McLaughlin, putting on a really, really good fight, now to almost losing this here to Gunderson.
Gunderson seems to be really quick on the out-braking zones.
All right, let's head back to the leader, John. David Holland. Oh, we do have a fight back there. File and Richards. We'll catch them as they come across the line. Here comes David Holland. He's got just a few turns left to go, John. Oh, Padavani made a mistake back there as Holland comes around here to complete sweet victory here at Silverstone. Holland with another great run here in the Precision Racing League.
We got Padavani. He just needs to make it through 4 more corners. Unfortunately, 2 of them are the hardest. Here he comes.
Here we go, John. David Holland out of the final turn. Down the straight to the start-finish line. Your winner, David Holland. Tonight here in the Precision Racing League. Jefferson Padavani going to take P2. And Ziggers is going to continue his pace to outgun Francisco Montini.
Well, we've got a battle here in 9th and 10th. I don't know if they're going to make it to the line here. We've got Owen McLaughlin, Christopher Richards. Richards is all over the back of them. They got a car in front of them. They're going down the long straight, and that slipstream is going to be important.
The lap car, Cristelli. Yeah, McLaughlin hanging on to it here, John. I don't think Richards has got anything for him. So funny is that there's a battle right behind him. That's Steffi and Gunderson still. Cristelli stands in the middle of them. McLaughlin gonna get Richards. Steffi gonna get Gunderson, John. Wow. What a finish. What a race.
Here comes Marco Oliveira coming across the line in 13th position. Tough night for him.
Yeah, it was. And a tough night for Tyler Gore. He did pick up a few spots, but looks like P14 best he's going to do. But David Holland, your big winner here tonight in Silverstone. And we are going to step away for a quick moment here on the iRacing Esports Network. Take a moment to collect ourselves. Get the grid or get the final results together for you. Interview with drivers. We'll be right back here on the Global SimRacing Channel.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back here on the iRacing Esports Network. Global SimRacing Channel here in command tonight with the Precision Racing League and round 8 here wrapping up at the 2019 version of Silverstone. David Holland, your big winner. Jefferson Padavani, well, he was a little glittery tonight. He finished P2. Daniel Zagers, what a run out of Zagers tonight. Third for him. Montini Francisco, fourth. Fifth, gonna go to Nick Delp. Mike Overbay, sixth. Aaron Webb, seventh tonight. We didn't talk about him much. We should have. Mark File with an 8th place run. Owen McLaughlin, 9th. And Chris Richards, John, 10th.
And 11th, Jay Steffi. 12th, Matthew Gunderson. Boy, what a great battle there on that last lap between 9th through 12th there. Marco Oliveira finishing 13th. Tyler Gore, 14th. The Grits. Oh, what a tough night for him in that 28 F3, finishing 15th. In 16th, Daniel Barnett. 17th, David Cristelli. Another bad night for David. Unfortunate. 18th. All right, David, I'm going to get it right. David Abear. Yeah. Cheers. Woo. All right, maybe not. 19th, Paul Wilridge. And 20th, Charles Sumner. And I'll take the last position. Eric Luke, unfortunately, with a flip there at the end, and he disconnected. So that rounds out your field.
All right, John, and let's talk to a couple people here first. It looks like our winner is here. I'll talk to him. David Holland, Texan to Texan. How'd you do it, buddy?
Hey, guys. Well, I just kind of survived. There towards the end, it started getting pretty hairy. I felt like I was on ice. The tires had completely gone away. And I was pushing as hard as I could. I think Padavani had a little bit of pace on me, so I was giving it everything I had.
So that was legit there at the end. I honestly thought you were just kind of making a show for us.
I wish. No, I'm sweating hard right now. That's I hadn't done a stint that long on with our setup that we were running, and so I wasn't sure how I was going to handle in a long race like that. And it was great there for the first half, and then man, it fell off.
Okay, so you just finished a 45-minute race here at the new Silverstone. What are the challenges of this new layout, David?
It's deceiving at first because it's so wide, it's so open. You feel like you can go a lot quicker through the turns, but really through a lot of them, the slower you go, the faster you.
Well, David, 2 rounds left, buddy, and you seem to get a little bit better every week. Second place last week, you take home a win this week. We're going to see you for these last 2 rounds, of course, correct?
Man, I hope so. Schedule permitting.
All right. Well, listen, congratulations. Go celebrate that one. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, John, that's David Holland. You've probably caught up with a very excited Glitter Pants.
The Brazilian Jefferson Padavani finishing second. Boy, I tell you what, Jefferson, you brought the glow back to the snow with the Glitter Pants. How was your evening?
Good evening, guys. Yeah, that's a better evening. I was tired of getting wrecked and crashing people and crashing walls. I was just on a wave of bad driving. Well, I'm happier now.
Well, you sound happy. Actually, we started the show and said that, you know what, we're not going to call him Glitter Pants. He's been jinxed here the past few races, but you proved us wrong. You executed perfectly. You're actually catching Holland there at the end. We thought maybe you'd have something for him.
Yeah, I confess to you that I was trying, but I think that David was controlling every time the race. He's a incredibly quick driver, and he's proved this in all of the championship and all of the official races. It's amazing the way that he controls the car and the consistency. He's a really fast one. I can tell you that I could rub one out for him to have his setup.
Well, you did a great job executing tonight, Jefferson. Great job starting third, finishing second. Great podium finish. Congratulations to you. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Joe. I'm just sad because of the crash, the incident about Michael, my teammate. We were not expecting that. It's sad, but sometimes this happens. Good evening, guys. Good night. Thank Geodesk Racing Team for the support. See you. Bye bye.
Alrighty, take care. Sean, have you caught up with Mr. Zeggers finishing
I
third
have.
tonight?
Yeah, Daniel, that was a monster run this evening. You just kind of picked them off patiently, one by one. Was that the key to your success tonight? A little patience?
Yeah, gentlemen. Congrats to Mr. Holland on the win and Mr. Padovani on second. Yeah, it was an interesting race. Qualifying didn't go as well as I had hoped. Some of the practice I'd been doing earlier in the week, I knew I had lower times than what my qualifying time was. Hadn't really dealt with the track at this temperature. But yeah, just keeping consistent. The car definitely came to me later in the run. Made a call for tires in the pits. They were starting to get a little loose there towards the end of the first run. So I came in, or Padovani came in, or not Padovani, Montini came in a second in front of me when he entered the pits. So I was kind of doing some timing. He came out 3 seconds ahead. So I figured, well, 3 seconds for tires, I think I could run him down. So all I had to really do is just run some consistent laps. And unlike the last couple of weeks where it's got away from me and I've just made some mistakes, yeah, just tried to be a little more patient and not push as hard and just run more consistent. Yeah, and it worked out.
Well, this you said worked out. I'll segue to my last question. This new configuration, is it a bit of a workout?
Holy smokes, man! And I'm running in VR, and I don't have enough fans running on me right now. I was absolutely sweating bullets at the end. Car handled great though. The track is very receptive. I feel like they did an excellent job on this configuration. It definitely not overly bumpy, but it's definitely demanding. So I liked it. This is probably one of my favorite tracks coming from the F1 league into PRL, and yeah, it felt good.
Well, listen, it felt good watching you pick up all those spots and get a podium finish this evening. Congratulations. We will see you next week, Daniel.
Awesome. Thanks again, guys, for all you do. Congrats to the podium finishers, and we'll see you next week.
All right, John. Sounds good. That's Daniel Zegers. He finished third tonight. We're going to get out of this one quick, though, because we've got another one coming up here immediately following this broadcast here. Or you could go over to the Global SimRacing Channel as we will be showing the sim racers for mental health at Talladega this evening. The Gander Mountain Trucks there at the High Banks of Talladega for 250 miles. That starts at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Time. I want to thank everybody here in the Precision Racing League. I also want to thank Apex Button Box for all they do and their great promotion this season for giving one away to one of these drivers here in the Precision Racing League. We also want to thank the iRacing Esports Network for having us over and letting us bring this great race to you. We'll be back, and we'll see you next time on ISN Saturday morning, and that would be 9:30 Eastern Time for the Grand Prix Legends. We also want to thank the companies that provide software and hardware for our broadcast listed here on your screen. I also want to give additional thanks to June Lalonde, who gives us all this great music we have here on the network. See the screen, try to get a hold of more of her great work. Now, I want to thank the team today, my little buddy John and Joe over there in the director's chair. Dougie Beard, of course. If you'd like to find out more about us, the Global SimRacing Channel, well, yeah, you can find us at globalsimracingchannel.com or in one of our various social media outlets, Facebook, Global SimRacing Channel, Twitter at GSR Channel, Instagram, GSRC_Graham. Folks, the next race, Montreal, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. That will be Thursday, August 22nd, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you there. Look at the upcoming races for other series listed on the screen. Look at them quickly because they're going away here in a moment. Check those out. Mark them down on your calendar. But until next time, race clean, race hard. We'll see you on the track.